Have you ever wondered if there's extra help out there for those who quietly dedicate their days to caring for someone else? What if a brand new support payment, worth €159, was just around the corner, and it could be yours this April? I'm David, and what I've uncovered today might be the exact news many of you have been waiting for. But before we jump into the full details, let me ask you something. Have you been providing care for a loved one, maybe a spouse, a friend, or even a neighbor, without even realizing that you could be entitled to financial support for it? What if you've been ticking all the boxes without ever filling in a single form? Something has just changed, quietly but significantly. A new update around the carer's allowance for April 2025 is making headlines, and while some have already started preparing to benefit, many still don't even know they are eligible. Why is this €159 payment different from before? Who's now included that wasn't before? And what's the surprising twist in the claiming process that could make things easier or harder? These are the questions I'll be answering in today's video. But let me tell you this upfront, this isn't just another routine payment cycle. There's more to it this time. And if you're caring for someone, even informally, this might be the moment you've been waiting for. Don't assume you're not eligible. Don't scroll past. Too many miss out simply because they think these benefits are for someone else. Not this time. Stick with me because in just a moment I'll break down who qualifies, what's changed, and the key steps to make sure you don't miss out on this €159 opportunity. So go ahead, tap that like button if you care about getting every penny you're entitled to, and subscribe so you never miss an important update like this. Let's dive in and see if you could be one of the thousands about to receive this support. Thank you for staying with me. Now let's start peeling back the layers of this new €159 carer's allowance update. What you're about to hear could make a big difference, not just for you, but also for someone you love or care for. This isn't just another routine update that floats by unnoticed. This change, coming in April 2025, is already getting attention behind the scenes, but many of the people who actually deserve this support the most, people like you, haven't heard about it yet, and that's why we're here. Now, you might be thinking, David, I've heard about carer's allowance before. I know what it is. And yes, many of you might already know the basics. But the truth is, this payment has gone through some quiet adjustments, subtle on the surface, but when you really understand them, you'll see just how impactful they can be. This €159 payment isn't just a repeat of the usual figure. It reflects an adjustment in response to economic pressures, inflation, and the increasing importance placed on unpaid carers across the UK and Europe. Whether you're looking after a spouse with limited mobility, helping a neighbor with daily tasks, or managing care for a relative across town, your contribution matters, and it's being noticed. So what makes this April different? For starters, eligibility has widened. You might qualify now, even if you didn't before. This year, the criteria have been reviewed to ensure that more informal carers, those who aren't officially registered but are doing the work day in and day out, can come forward and receive the support they deserve. That's right, even those helping out without formal recognition could find themselves eligible under the new scheme. And yet, very few are talking about it. So let me ask you again, are you one of the quiet carers? Do you help someone every day or several times a week without thinking much of it? Maybe it's shopping, cooking, helping them dress, or reminding them to take medication. You may have never labeled yourself as a carer, but the work you're doing qualifies. And now, the system might finally start recognizing that. The second major shift is in how the application process is being handled. In previous years, it's been a bit of a maze: forms, deadlines, documentation, long wait times, and sometimes a complete lack of feedback. Many people gave up halfway through. But as of April 2025, there's a more streamlined approach being introduced. While we'll dive deeper into the steps shortly, the key thing to note is that the new system is designed to identify carers based on activity rather than paperwork alone. That means your day-to-day actions, if consistent and qualifying, may now be enough to open the door to this support. But before we go further into the how, let's pause on the why. Why has this change come now? The truth is, unpaid carers are the backbone of our society. The government, under increasing pressure from healthcare institutions, charities, and economic think tanks, has been urged to recognise the billions of pounds saved each year through unpaid care. So rather than continuing to ignore this contribution, they've decided to respond, at least in part, with direct support. Now, €159 may not seem like a life-changing sum at first glance. But when you consider it as a monthly supplement or potentially part of a wider support package, it becomes a welcome relief for many households. Especially with energy bills, food prices, and other essentials continuing to rise. Every little bit counts, and for some, this could cover transport costs, prescriptions, or even simply allow for a bit of breathing space in a tight budget. Let's turn now to the actual eligibility, because this is where many people assume they don't fit the bill and miss out. You don't need to be working full-time as a carer. You don't need to be living with the person you care for. And you don't need to be formally registered with any medical body. If you are spending 35 hours or more per week providing care to someone who receives a qualifying disability benefit, then you're already in a strong position to claim. But what counts as care? It's more than just medical assistance. Helping someone with eating, dressing, moving around the house, doing their shopping, preparing meals, or even emotional support, these all count. And with the new approach, even part-time or flexible carers could be considered depending on the circumstances. There's also the financial side. Traditionally, income thresholds have been a stumbling block. But for April 2025, these thresholds have been revised to reflect the current cost of living. The idea is to ensure that those who work part-time, or who receive a small pension, are not automatically excluded. If your earnings after allowable expenses remain under the current threshold, which has been modestly increased this year, you may still qualify. So again, don't rule yourself out until you've had the chance to look closely at the updated criteria. Now, let's talk about the application. This is where things used to get frustrating. In 2024, the Carers Allowance application process had a reputation for being too long, too detailed, and sometimes confusing for older adults who aren't used to online forms. But thankfully, in April 2025, things are changing. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, is introducing a more user-friendly process, both online and over the phone. They've partnered with several support groups and carers organizations to offer step-by-step help. So if you're unsure or feel nervous about doing it alone, you'll now have access to free assistance to guide you through it. Better yet, the new portal has features specifically designed with accessibility in mind, larger fonts, clearer instructions, voiceover support, and even printable versions for those who prefer working on paper. And for those who have already claimed in the past, there's now an option for automatic re-verification, meaning you don't have to start from scratch each time. Let's not forget about back payments, either. If it turns out you were eligible earlier but didn't apply, you might be able to request payments retroactively. This part does require evidence and a bit of persistence, but with the right documentation, such as proof of care duties and eligibility of the person you care for, it can be possible to claim months' worth of unpaid allowance. It's a hidden opportunity that many overlook, and something I always recommend people ask about when they apply. Now, I want to mention something important. This allowance is just one part of a bigger puzzle. Many people who qualify for Carers Allowance may also be eligible for additional benefits, such as carer premium, pension credit, or even council tax reduction. The moment you're confirmed as a carer on official records, doors begin to open for other types of support. And with rising costs affecting nearly everyone, every benefit counts. Here's where I want to bring this back to you. You've stuck with me this far, which tells me something. You're either caring for someone right now, or you know someone who is. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to wonder if this allowance could finally give you the recognition and the help you deserve. I want you to take this seriously. So many people shrug off their own role, thinking, I'm just helping out, or I'm not doing enough to count. But the truth is, if you're consistently making someone else's life easier, safer, or healthier, then you do count. And this is your time to take that next step. So what should you do next? First, gather the details. Write down what you do each week in terms of care, how many hours, what tasks, and for whom. This will be useful when you begin the claim. Second, check the benefit status of the person you care for. Are they receiving a qualifying disability benefit, such as PIP or attendance allowance? This is key to your own eligibility. And third, visit the DWP's Carers Allowance section, or call them directly, to begin the process. And if it feels overwhelming, reach out to your local carers support group, Age UK branch, or Citizens Advice. They can help fill out the forms with you or for you. I know it's a lot to take in. But I also know that taking action today could lead to months, or even years, of added financial support that you may have been missing out on all this time. So don't wait. Take the first step, even if it's just writing down what you do. The rest will follow. And as always, I'll be right here to walk with you through the process. In upcoming videos, I'll break down how to fill out the form, how to handle any issues with your application, and what additional benefits to explore once you're registered as a carer. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. This channel is all about helping people like you, people who give so much, often without being asked or thanked, to finally get something back. So stay with me, keep watching, and remember, you're not alone in this. I'm David, and I'll see you in the next part of the video where we look at what really happens after you apply, and how to make sure your claim doesn't get delayed or denied.